Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is day one of 100 days challenge for 100 machine learning projects. So today we will be working on developing a sentiment analysis, using NLP tech and sentiment analysis model using NLP techniques on Reddit post. So what will happen and why I chose this project, let me explain it first. So we all know why sentiment analysis is very important. We are going through like a lot of transformer architecture where sentiment scores are provided, embeddings are provided, enhance even positional encoding, and why a word in a sentence is important. Somehow it is related to sentiment analysis, like if this is a positive response, negative response, or a neutral response. Even a lot of I can say, like recommendation systems also uses this sentiment analysis to understand like what how were the feedbacks, because the whole comment is very big. So to analyze this whole comment and to define it into a positive one, negative one, and to a neutral one is very important, because every comment cannot be stored and cannot be used for analysis. So they convert it into a score and then they use it to analyze, okay, this project is good enough or not. This sentiment analysis can also help us to understand, like, if like what are the sentiments of a particular post and why we are doing this. Because, okay, let me tell you an example. We all remember that after a quarter is ending, an organization will post their, how did the organization did in their quarter, like how much profit they made, and based on those profits and how well the organization is doing, somehow it is very impacts their stocks. If it is the organization is doing good, they are cutting edge in their technology, everything is going good, there is a good chance that the stock prices will go up. And there are some chances that if the organization is not going good, the tech is not going, they are burning out a lot of money. And so there might be a chance that the stock prices of that particular organization will go down. And we all know, like, stock prediction is very important. And so stock prediction, we can train a model using a supervised learning, or you can use unsupervised learning basically to cluster them and understand, okay, these were the events, and then will it fall into cluster A, cluster B. But supervised learning is better because you have a label and you see that, okay, this happened in this year, so you can train that. But why NLP tasks, why analysis, and how we can use in stock prediction is that because a lot of posts that comes on the media or on the news have an impact on the stock prices of a particular company. And if you all remember, I will give you an example that there was a person, a very big person, who just, put a tweet on the X right now. Uh, that time it was just a Twitter. So he just tweeted about a particular company, and the stock of that company just, you know, blew out of the roof. So like it went up like anything. So for me, I understand like that the news, the posts that are coming, how much people are interacting, what opinions does the people have about a company, about an organization, somehow impacts the price of their stocks. So what we are going to do, we will try to get scrap some news over Reddit. I didn't want to do on X because it's expensive, and because this is like a very new channel for everyone, for me as well. So I didn't want to, put a lot of money on X. But if in future, if there is a chance for me to scrape the data from X, its posts, its tweets, and then we can move forward. Yeah, definitely, I would love to do that. And if someone has already done that, you guys can just share your experience and how you did that. That would be great. So for now, what I did, I used Reddit APIs, and I used that is Python Reddit API wrapper, using Reddit, credentials, my credentials of the Reddit, and to get to scrape the news over the Reddit, to scrape the posts regarding FANG companies, that is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. and to understand like, okay, and I have used NLTK waiter, that is the national, toolkit, that is natural transforming and language toolkit. So I have used that for the sentiments course, and we will be going through it. So let me share my screen, and I will show you how it's done. So see, this is the Reddit that I was talking about. So this is the Reddit app. You can see there are a lot of, posts coming. It looks little bit like X, but it's, that definitely X is, but this is good. So you can scrape the news from X, from Twitter, and Reddit. But Reddit provides a free, as well as YouTube API also provides, like, 5,000 calls or 1,000 calls per day. So that this is good enough for our, starting project. So through Reddit, we can go to preferences, and here you can create your own app. You can just create the application, give the application a name like sentiment analysis, something, and you can create script, description, about URI, redirect URI. For this, you guys can put, the local host, because in the starting, you guys will be running it on local host as well if you are going to make an application. So for web application, if you want to integrate with an already an installed app, then also you can do that. So, and I'm not a robot, create an app. Whereas as soon as you create an application, that create application, there will be a secret key, a client ID that will be generated uh, through the API, which you can use through the wrapper of Python and Reddit, and you can scrape the data through Reddit. So this is the Reddit thing. So let me show you. So what I did, I also created a .env file. This is the, the in which I have put my secret key, my secret ID, my application name, and my client ID that I got from after creating the application on Reddit, as shown before. So this is I'm trying to install it. This is I was just checking that is it able to find the .env file, because sometimes what happens, there are a lot of errors and you are trying to fix it, but sometimes it happens that your OS is not able to find your .env file. So just make sure, like, this is like a habit of me, just to make sure that it is able to reach there and, find that file. If it is able to find that file, it will be able to read those instructions. And I imported the pro that I already talked about, that is the Python raw API, Python Reddit API wrapper. So this uses the client ID that I told you, client secret, user agent. So this is just it, and I am using the prices, the name of the, using the post. They are always a hashtag or something, or keywords regard on those posts, like for the for stock, and like Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta, and Netflix. You can see that it's not the whole spelling of the, organization. Is just that's how these keywords work through the post edits. And when we run this code, you can see that I have asked them to take out the post, take out the title, take out the subtext, self text, and everything, because I'm going to clean that particular post into understanding like what exactly that post entails, and because not a lot of thing about that post might not be, that much engaging or impacting over the over the stock. So this is important, like if the stock is going up, if the stock is going down, like the if the quarter end like went very well, they are working on this, latest technology, and so their stock price might go up. So on the basis of that, I just used, download scraped some posts. So I have scraped 50 posts for each companies, that is Apple, Google, Amazon, Meta, and Netflix. So there are 250 posts, and I have used I have converted into those posts into the data frame so that I can clean them very properly, because I'm going to remove the special characters, like at the rate, or maybe you know numbers that does not impact it, or maybe convert all the text into a lower case, so that it can be analyzed very easily, very properly by the processor, that NLTK waiter. And I'm going to use that. So what I did, I removed the URLs also. Yeah, so I removed the URLs, I removed the special characters, I stripped the extra spaces both the time. I have converted the whole subtext of the post into a lowercase for better analysis, and you can see that the clean text looks like this. So daily discussion, fundamentals, Friday, Excel sheet to mark portfolio. I have a Google, like there are a lot of things. So these are for Apple. So I printed like five, just the head of it, like how the data set now looks of 250 post into a clean data set, and the symbol. So now I'm using the import NLTK and Vedar lexicon. That is the lexical analyzer that is like sentiment analyzer, we can say. It will analyze the whole context and give it a score from -1 to 1. -1 being negative sentiment, and +1 being the positive sentiment of the particular post or a particular text, a particular sentence, and 0 being the neutral. So I've just imported it, and I'm just giving it, I'm adding the sentiment score and applying it on the, popularity scores of the data frames that I have already showed you, that the clean text that I'm using. So here I'm printing the head also, that symbol Apple. So that particular post must be 0.9, like 30. So this is regarding the Apple only. Say if that particular post had a very good impact, or very like positive impact regarding the Apple, then it is giving a 0.9730 score. So 0.296 might not have a very, like it might be towards neutral. And so for that, okay, so I have filled this. There might be some times that if there is, I've may normalized that, we can say that, yeah, we can say that normalized this into using mean and rest index. And I have started to plotting it, because I have to see that, okay, average Reddit sentiment score for Fang was how much. Because you can see that in that average sentiment score went from -1 to 1. So now I'm calculating the mean. Okay, the for Apple it went around 0.70, for Amazon this much, Google this. And for the Seaborn S, yeah, this is like Seaborn is a very good visualization, like libraries that we can use to understand, like plot a different graphs, to understand like how the data is moving, like how to plot the data to understand, like okay, this was the learning, and how it is different from other things. So the sentiment score went from minus towards the -1, and towards 1 it was very good for Apple Post. And average Reddit scores, you can see. So this, and so now there are like multiple more scenarios that I have taken. So let's talk about the accuracy. Accuracy is 0.375 only, because now you have to understand why accuracy is very less. See, because the post that we scraped is just 250 posts, and this was the first project, and I have like very small project that I wanted to show you guys. So this was like a very basic one, just to make sure like how you are guys interacting with it. So 0.375 is like, because the posts are very less. So how it is working, let me say, there is a lot of overfitting, because the post that that data on which we are training is very less. So when it will be predicting, it will not be predicting it very well. So this is the scenario, and let me also see what we can do. Yeah, I also wanted to talk to you about like the sentiment analysis, why it is important, and I will also be, so this is one of the post that I have. I also have using the BERT. BERT is a transformer architecture, which is an encoder model, which have a above accuracy around 90%, and it takes like one or a day to or 2 days to train that, fine tune that BERT model regarding the sentiment analysis. I've trained fine tuned that model using the IMDb database to give the to see that how many reviews and provide a sentiment score for that. So I will be sharing that file with you as well, just for your reference to understand like how this is going to be. And if you want a video on that, I'm happy to make that, because it has a lot of, because when you fine tune a model, it has been already trained on general knowledge, and on when you are fine tuning on IMDb database, it's like transfer learning and fine tuning. So when you're training on IMDb database, then you are just telling him to focus on IMDb database to use sentiment analysis on those reviews and like that. So we can say that in short, sentiment analysis is a very, let's see, like what the crowd is thinking. So we are just not following the numbers, we are understanding the story behind the market moves, maybe for the reviews of a particular product, maybe reviews for a particular movie, or maybe for the stock prediction, or a lot of things that you can come up with. And if you want, we can make a good like whole project about that. By the end of this week, I will be also sharing a web application, a separate video of a web application using this model, how it is working, and how to make it more interactive for you guys. So I will be sharing that video as well. And for aggregation, price, and final visualization, we can wrap with more visualization, average sentiment by stock, and combine the plots of price versus Reddit sentiment. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, drop a like and subscribe. Let me know what kind of sentiment for stock analysis you want next, and the code is linked below. See you in the next demo. Thank you.